everyone, this is the Codemaster here with episode 3 of Nolimits 2. Last episode we made this B&M coaster, and I failed in the last couple of minutes of the video because I sneezed and that turned off my mic. Yep, but anyway, hopefully you guys can still understand the last video. But today what I was thinking we could cover is foliage. Now, foliage is all sorts of things like trees, plants, bushes, all that kind of stuff. And we're also going to go over Terra-Painting, because that is also another field where everyone seems to be struggling in. So, what about if we start up by, let's go ahead and do some Terra-Painting. Let's do some scenery first. So, click on the Scenery tab, and you'll see we have a couple of new options. Let's go over these. So, we have Show Properties. And what this does is it allows us to see the properties of an object we have selected. Show Overview, that shows all the scenery objects that are currently in this map. Remove Invalid References is removing objects that don't exist, technically. NL's2 CSO Editor is like adding scripts to objects, and Matte Editor is Material Editor. But today we're just going to be using this Choose option. So it's kind of like the prefab support. If we click Choose, and we go to Library, we'll see this. We'll have these variety of options. Now we'll be going back to demo options later on to test out a few other things with scenery objects. But today, or most of the time today, we're going to be going through the trees and plants. So double-click that and go to 3D Trees. And here we have a wide selection of lovely trees made by the Nolimits team. Thank you so much. So I'm going to spice up some of these coasters by adding a couple of trees. So when it comes to placing down trees, I recommend that So to place down a tree, press Add Object. So when you place down trees, I recommend you place a variety of tree styles rather than just one style of tree. So I'm going to place a couple around the base here, like that. And then I'm just going to kind of leave it kind of airy and open so we can have other styles of trees in there. Like this. So maybe we could have a nice foresty style drop. Just going to outline where I want it to be kind of terra painted, possibly. That. After this, your coaster will look a lot nicer. That's why we terra paint and stuff. Just to get everything to look a lot nicer. There we go. So I'm just going around placing trees. It's as easy as just clicking. And once you're done, you should have quite a variety of trees. But it does look slightly odd. And the reason for that is because we only have one style. So go back and choose another style. I'm going to use tree 4. Let's try that. Haha, see? Now we have a slight variety of colour as well. Now with tall trees, you don't have too many of them, so I'm just going to have a couple. Now I'm going to go back and then maybe pick another style of tree. There we go. Slightly brighter. Kind of blends in nicely. I want to place some in the mass of these. Maybe add some, fill in this gap here. And I'm thinking maybe we could have a little lake here or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll build a lake over here. There we go, just add a couple of trees. Maybe one tree right in the middle there. Yeah, that's quite nice. There we go. Let's kind of close it off like that. There we go. So we've got a lot of trees now, and that's good. Save. Remember to save. Anyway, let's go into the terrain painting. So click on the terrain tab, and you'll see we have a variety of options. So what we first want to do is, like right now, this is the only paint we have, the grass auto paint, and this is basically what gets painted all over the map. Now, what we want to do is we want to add a second paint color. So to do this, we go to Terrain Settings and click this little plus button. And you'll see it says New Layer. So double click on that and then name this what you want. Otherwise, it'll get very confusing. I'm going to call this gravel. Actually, I'm just going to call it gravel /rock /dirt because just a kind of texture that looks like that. Now, this is the current texture that's going to use. So we want to change that. So click on these arrows. And then click up, and now we have a much wider selection. So I'm going to go into dirt, and I'm going to select this ground texture. and then I'll hit OK. But there's a slight issue here. You can see here it has AB. And what that B does is detail mapping. And what it does is make the textures nice and high quality in game. So what we have to do is go back in, detail map, and check enable detail mapping. Then all we have to do is select any texture that has detail after it, like this. Dirt detail, for example, like that. And there we go. Now it has an AB, and we're fine. So now what we can do is we can select one of these two textures. So I say we're going to select the gravel rock dirt texture we made and click paint layer. Now what this point influence thing here is it's basically how big the brush size is. So I usually make this about 4. And you'll see now we have this nice little brush thing. So if you click and drag, and Skype is calling me. God dang it. Okay, hold on a second. Yep, so I kind of just terra painted the whole ground around it. So I recommend if you're terra painting, usually just try and terra paint the layout of the coaster like I have done here. Let me just do some finishing touches. Yeah, I actually accidentally started recording with my mic off, so this is what you see now. My mic is finally on again. But you can kind of get the basic idea. I don't recommend you just do one texture, so let's add a couple of other textures. So terrain settings, let's add one more. Let's call this sand, like a sandy texture. Let's go up again to sand. Let's kind of get a sandy. Let's do sandstone. And then detail mapping. Do sand terrain. Okay. Okay, and then let's see how this is. I'm just gonna add this kind of around the edge. Oh, not bad. Just kind of want to make it look nice. If you're just not feeling it, then you probably should restart. Like that. So I'm just getting bits of sand in areas. Just kind of spice up the coaster. And then I'm going to show you how to do some Terra painting. So let's do that right now, in fact. Well, not Terra painting, let's do some terraforming. So I want to add a nice little lake here. So to do that, all we have to do is do this thing called add these set markers thing. So let's do set markers. And I recommend you turn it up quite a bit for this. So when you place a marker, you see it will have this range. Now basically, wherever you see this range, it will kind of move the markers. So if I want to make quite a large, like this, well, I'm going to make a kind of small lake. There we go, like that. Then we'll click modify markers. If I move them down, oh look, got ourselves a nice little lake, huh? Yeah, let's just undo that. Maybe add a few more. It's not that hard actually. Just to set markers, you just click, just like we did with the Terra painting, except for see it'll leave these white dots behind, which are actually the Terra painting stuff or the terraforming stuff. Basically, everywhere you can kind of see that's highlighted, it will kind of lower. So to make water, all you have to do is click on modify markers, click on a point, and then just drag downwards, and you'll see water will appear magically out of the air. And that kind of looks weird. Now, if you start getting an effect like that, you kind of want to undo it and then go back, place more markers, and then do it again. Because usually the more markers you have, the more accurate it'll be. Like that. Let's try that. Just gonna lower that. Could use some more markers. Just I don't know. I think you can actually just drag. Yeah, there you go. You can drag and drop markers like that. So if you really need to have a kind of a dense lake, there you go. So let's try that. So let's drag it down, and I think that's good. There we go. Now with this kind of thing, when you come to lakes, I recommend that you kind of add sand. Oh, okay, that was a bit too much. Let's just go back and set that to grass again. There we go. I recommend you add a sandy texture. So let's make an actual, like, proper sandy sand texture. I'll call it sandy sand because it's extra sandy. Yeah, we'll go up. Library. Let's go. Actually, no, we don't want to do that. I just want to go. What do I want? Terrain. Yeah, there we go. Sand, and then sand terrain, detail mapping, enable detail mapping, and sand terrain. Okay. Actually, I want to enable sand detail. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let's just select our sandy sand and lower. Actually, we kind of want to make it. I'll just kind of make the outside a bit sandy. Yeah, terraforming can be quite difficult, but there we go. You can see. Got a nice little lake. Let's save it, and then let's see here what it looks like in the editor. Well, not in the editor, the actual game. So it's loading. And what do you know? Look, got a nice little water with reflections and like sounds and moves. It has a bit of tide. So let's ride our coaster with this all new terrain. Here we go. So I'm thinking in the next episode of showing how to do a suspended coaster, but that's entirely up to you. Leave a comment in the description to see what you would find out, so I can know what you guys want for me to do in the next episode, because I care about you guys a lot. So always tell me, like, don't be afraid. I'm not mean or anything. Like, I just love building coasters. And here we go. So code roll. Yeah, the trees may increase the lag a lot. The only reason it's lagging a lot for me is because I'm recording, and recording at 30 frames a second can be quite annoying at times. Yeah, I've got to fix that brake run. It's not quite straight, but here we go. Let's see. Let's go through the course. Let's see if it goes around this tree nicely. There we go. Went around that tree perfectly. And then we're just going to roll gently to a stop. And then we're going to go around this corner. And we're done. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This was a kind of quick episode, I know. Just to give you the basic idea of how to terraform. And like do terrain painting and add scenery. So, next time I'll probably be covering inverts unless you guys want me to do something else. So, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day /evening /morning wherever you are.